Every 4 years you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, which you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is. Because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be, so that you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christchurch shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing in...
What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. First, I want to say good morning. Second, I want to say shout out to the brother Low Key TV. Did a bomb panel last night. Y'all go check that Straight to It podcast. I believe it's episode 10. Brothers did their thing. We had a brother on the, I think his name Dre Gray, if I'm not mistaken. We had the brother John Horse on the J. Andy, West versus the People, Mr. Let You Tell It. You know what I'm saying? Myself. Bomb. Y'all need to go check it out, man. We slaughtered that, man. The thing, we did so good we didn't realize how long we went. But shout out to all those brothers on the panel. Y'all go check those brothers out. Check out the Straight to It podcast. All right. This video I just showed y'all was something on C-SPAN that they had with Candace Owens. I believe it was a few days ago. Published. I think it was published. It might have been published a few days ago. I don't know if it was exactly a few, some days ago. But I put this up to show y'all what she said. There's other things I want to show y'all, but I ain't want to have to do a whole lot of video collages and things right now. Maybe another time. But this is some of the things that she says when it comes to issues with black people. Now, I'm going to give you some pros and cons about her that I think if she really paid attention to what's going on with black people and what our plight is, maybe we can come together and help each other. But this is the crazy stuff that she thinks. She thinks that white supremacy is not an issue that people of color, especially black people, have to deal with, but it's bull because it is something. Now, you may not think it's bad as Jim Crow era, definitely not slavery. I get that. But to say it's not an issue at all, you can make up 100 things. It's not an issue of that. It's very, very much so. It's just like what they say, benign, and it's asinine. You know what I'm saying? It's repugnant. You know what I'm saying? To sit there and say that there's no issues. Give you one thing, for example, of what happens with people who are black conservatives. She's 30 years old, so let me give you a little story on that. Okay, I think she's from Stamford, Connecticut. Now, back when she was 17, she told a story on Joe Rogan. You can look it up on YouTube if you want to. But she was telling a story to Joe Rogan about she went through an issue and she felt as though people around her tried to make it seem like it had something to do with a hate race type thing, or whatever you would call it, the race hate or whatever, discrimination or something like that. So she said that what happened was back when she was about 17 in high school, a friend of hers and 3 other people called her while she was with her boyfriend because she found out that he was jealous that she was spending so much time with the boyfriend versus spending more time with the friend that she used to spend time with every day. So this white guy with other white people got together. They were young, I get that, but still, they got together, was making prank calls to her, and saying some very hateful things. You know what I'm saying? And apparently what she said, excuse my language, or what they said, left messages from an anonymous number saying that they was going to hang her, kill her and her whole nigger family, shoot her in the back of the head like they did that nigga Martin Luther King. Now, she said it ruined her life and her ex-associate's life because she became anorexic for 5 years. Then, on top of that, the other people went on to be, drunks and alcoholic and drug abusers. And she felt now that it was not something that they was Rachel, saying racist, because she knew the main person, because the other people she didn't know. But the main person, who was her ex-friend, did that because they were just stupid, because they was young. And I'm like, okay, so you look at it now like that wasn't something racist. I get if they say you're black ass, it's still racist. I don't give a damn what you said. But if they say you're black ass and one thing or something like that, or your nappy head or something stupid like that, okay, maybe you can say it was just kids trying to say the most hurtful things. But to say nigger this, Martin Luther King and all of this shit, it's some racism there. I don't give a damn what you say. We need to stop acting like, okay, no, he just said that. No, it's some racism there. So when you hear somebody's mindset like that, and she like, oh, I would have just took an apology and I would have been okay, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, Roland Martin showed something. You can look that up. Just YouTube search Candace Owens says Hitler was okay. And I was like, I got to hear this. So I'm watching the video, and I guess somebody asked the question. Now, they didn't show the whole thing, but what she said, I don't give a damn how much context you put into that. I'm surprised the Jewish community and then hop all over her ass. She said, in response to somebody asking the question, and she looked like she was just all over the place and didn't know what the hell she was going to say. She said, Hitler, if he wanted to just make Germany great again, sound like 45, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great again, that's fine. But when he tried to take it outside of the world, make everybody speak German and take over, that's when there's a problem. And I was like, whoa, wow, I can't believe you gave Hitler some props on anything to say that would have been okay if he just did. So you forgot the Holocaust that was going on and what he was doing? You mean to tell me you forgot about that? Okay. Then the Revolt Summit, where T.I. went in on her. So I wish he would have gave her a chance to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because she did say some dumb shit. She started out with some bullshit because she never answered the question. She said, when was America ever great for us? When was there a great period for us? Because I wanted to hear what she was going to say. That's the only thing I wish T.I. would have did, just let her talk. Like he let Killer Mike talk. Because Killer Mike tried to come in and say it was a great time for us. But it was like, it's still the time you name it. Brothers and sisters were still getting hung, killed, raped. You know what I'm saying? Kidnap. And anything you can think of, the worst thing that you could think of that was doing to our people was happening back then. We had to fight and fend for ourselves. So, I say that to say this. What's tripping me out is, to add on to that, it seems like after Kanye West said the stupid shit that he said, and talking about he's a free thinker, then, because Candace Owens was before Kanye West. But the funny thing was, in the beginning, they say that apparently she was a Democrat, liberal, whatever you want to call the shit. She was a Democrat. And then what changed her mind about being a Democrat was the fact that she was trying to, I think this was like 2016. She was talking about doing a app or something that helps you online with like say if somebody tries to bully you, you can expose them. Which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because you have trolls out there that say the craziest shit, make threats and all this on people's lives. So I ain't gonna lie, that might not be a bad thing. Maybe she should have just tried to sell it to the police or whatever. But she said that the Democrats came at her the worst. That's what technically ended up having her ending up to being a Republican. This happened in 2016. So she's officially been a Republican for about 3 years. And I'm like, okay, this is where I have a problem with the sister. All right. Now, one thing, I heard her say once or two things that was I can feel on. Like, the problem with no fathers being in the house. I feel you on that. But if I was to ask her a question, okay, well, do you think when the CIA put drugs on the streets, the fund they war, which Freeway Ricky Ross, they was using, the real Rick Ross, not the rapper, but the real Freeway Ricky Ross, they was using him and a lot of others to fund the war across seas, and I forget which one it was. Y'all please excuse me. I'll bring it back next time. But y'all can look it up. They had a CIA agent come to Compton and say this. Like, I gotta bring these receipts to y'all. Please excuse me. It just, that just popped in my head. But they had a documentary on it about the drugs in the streets and what was happening in Compton and all over the states. So I would ask her, okay, would you say that the government has something to do with it? And the way she talks, I'm quite sure she might say, oh, well, the Democrats had something to do with that, because the Democrats, it's always she blaming the Democrats. But what tripped me out is, okay, the things that the Democrats did actually helped out the country. When the welfare system came in, this might sound crazy, but it did help out the country when we had a time when after the stock market crashed in the late 20s, and then around 1935, you had President Roosevelt sign an act to put in for welfare and, helping out the country and stuff like that. So my thing is, with the Republicans, if it was such a problem and the Democrats messed up everything, why didn't they reform it all these years? You mean to tell me it's been close to like 100 years and y'all still ain't reform it? I don't get that. Then plus, she, but I do feel on that with the fathers. We do need to have our fathers in the home. We do. But we need to talk about the issue of what's going on with the way the government passed a lot of laws that allowed these things that happen to brothers, where it was a lot of prison sentences that wasn't right. And she's saying Democrat this and Democrat that. Okay, let's keep it real. She says Trump did all this with the prison reform. You got to remember, that was a big thing. When Barack Obama was leaving office, he signed a bill that would help prison reform being part of it, bring down the charges that people were getting. It's just not about brothers and sisters. We got to be real about that too. But it would bring down the numbers that somebody can get for a non-violent offense or a murder offense or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I would ask her that question, and she would just say Democrats, but you wouldn't get them no credit. And you only been a Republican for 3 years. And this is another thing. She always sounds not really that knowledgeable about what she's talking about, because we got to realize something as black people. This is what the problem with black people have with a black person like that. You going in on us, but want us to listen to you. You not coming with love. You trying to come with tough love, but that's not tough love. You sound like a white Republican that's saying some bull crap behind the doors and wonder why black people don't want to F with you in the first place. This is how a lot of these Republicans sound, like Candace Owens, her. They got Larry Elder. Then you got that fake hick acting sheriff. I forget his name. He ain't even worth mentioning anyway. The hell with him too. But you got these black people that white people appoint to come to black people and talk all this trash so they can point to them and then bring them on the Fox News and act like they speak for all black people. No, you speak for the black people who are bougie, pretentious, pretend to know everything, got a little money in their pocket, and they think they're better than the rest of us. That's who you talking about. You can't really have a real conversation with them, because if you have a conversation with them and you bring up real things, that's an issue. No, number one issue is no black father. Then what are you doing to help black fathers get back home? You saying it's a problem with women having kids out of wedlock and different daddies and all of that. But what are you doing to help us change our mind on that and something better for us? What are you doing to help change that versus just attacking black? What are you really doing to try to even help us on these issues that we're having? What are you really doing to help us change that? Are you really walking through the urban communities and talking with people, trying to assist them, getting education? Are you really doing all these things? Or are you just around here running your mouth? This is the problem black people have. You can't sit around and just talk about people and then you running your mouth all the time. This is the problem that we have with her. It's another point I wanted to touch on with her. Talked about the Hitler thing. Talk about the way she attacks black people. It says white supremacy is not a real thing. Oh, another thing. This is a problem I have. And no offense to nobody, you know what I'm saying? If you love who you love and you genuinely mean it, you know, that's your prerogative. But my problem is this. You can't say you for black people, what black people need to change, and what we need to do better, and then you married to somebody who's white. She is married to a white British man. Now that's her business. None of my business. But when you come out here talking to black people and you have all these things that are wrong with you, this is why a lot of black people, including myself, is not going to want to listen to you when you berating, belittling, degrading black people and talking down to us, and then you married to somebody who's white. You married to a white man. Now I'm sure y'all can feel me on this. How are we gonna listen to somebody who's married to somebody white? Because this is my thing. This is what I mean, and I'm sure people understand this. Just hear me out on this. If you are gonna sit around and tell somebody the way they need to change their life, what's best for them, you come into somebody's house, tell them what they need to do. You need, like, imagine somebody come to your house. You need to clean up your yard. You know what I'm saying? You need to cut your grass. You know what I'm saying? Clean your yard. You need to plant flowers, plant trees. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your yard look nice. Make sure your house look nice. Your house is painted. And then you be like, yeah, man, I mean, you right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm probably, you know what I'm saying, work been messed up. I ain't had the money to do it, buy the supplies. Because I could at least do it myself, but I ain't got the money. Supplies, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. I mean, what do you think I can do? Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You need to do that on your own. That's like somebody coming to you telling you what you need to do, but they're not helping you do that. Then not only that, the way she's doing it is like somebody coming to you acting like they're going to help you do something. They know what you need to be done. And then they working with somebody to take your house versus help you keep your house. Like, say your house in foreclosure and they acting like they coming to help you keep your house, but they working with the person that's taking your house. So you black person talking about what black people need to do, but then you got a white person that you're married to. Like I said, that's her business, or whoever, whatever race you date, that's your business. But you have no right to come to a black person and tell a black person what they need to do, and you married to somebody white. You love black people. In this, and the whole thing, I didn't show the whole thing. I would show like a minute of what she said, because they asked her another clip of a video in that same hearing, whatever she at, about black people and what she loved about black people. She said she would give her life and die 1,000 times on swords. But when it came to marrying somebody, you married white. This is what we got to think about in our heads. You love black people so much that you married a white person. That don't make no sense. And I know you might have people that are like, oh, just because you married somebody white don't mean you can't still be part of the struggle. Yeah, it don't mean that, because you're going to be part of the struggle whether you like it or not. Especially if you black. You part of the struggle whether you like it or not. But the problem I feel with her is that it seems like she wants to not be black. And that's why I told the quick narrative where she said what happened with the situation. Because she also said when she was 17 and what happened with her ex-friend and the other parties that was, you know what I'm saying, in that situation with the prank phone calls, that she does not believe it was racial. Then on the other hand, she does not want to be a victim, and black people got to stop acting like they victims. From my understanding, y'all keep acting like we criminals. So I don't know. You need to make up your mind on that one. Either we victims or we criminals, whatever. But she said she didn't want to be that. So that seemed like that's why you ran to the Republican side. That's why you think with the way you think now. It's like one of those I'm not black, I'm OJ type mentalities. You know what I'm saying? And I have a problem with that. And anybody that make me think, okay, that don't mean that you still can help black people, but you can't be in front. You can't be in front. You cannot be in the front and you show everything that black people have a problem. We also have a problem. Think about this. Black women, I always get on black men for marrying outside their race. So why the hell would we put somebody out front that's married outside of their race? Because think about it. And I'm not judging on anything, but I'm just saying, think about it like this. How can you really help the black race that much when you marry outside of your race and you didn't love your race enough to marry somebody in your race? So every time you and your white counterpart are having conversations, you have to include them in your life, which is what you're supposed to do. That's your spouse. You have to include them in your life, include them in your decisions, include them in your thoughts, include them in your heart. It's something that's going to come above that when it comes down to who you're married to, and respectfully so. So that's what I have a problem with. Now, the whole thing with Republicans and black people trying to get us to go that way, let me tell you something that we need to be smart about. Okay, when we say that, was her and other people like, because I seen this one brother, this hood cat, the intelligent thug, whatever he call himself, and he was having an MREC TV interview. Shout out MREC, I follow that brother. Having an MREC TV interview, and he was saying about Kanye West, talked about Candace Owens and how T.I. did her, how they treated her. Oh, she a black woman, you should treat her like that. Okay, whatever. But he's saying he a free thinker in his community. He was the only person that became a Republican. Now, everybody in his community is a Republican, and they are free thinkers. That's how you become a free thinker. And I'm like, listen, that ain't how you become a free thinker, by being something that historically everybody has chosen to decide out of the lesser two evils. Let's think about something. You got Republicans, Democrats, and independent third party. Nobody really ever talks about the independent third party, where you can vote outside of Democrat and Republican. You can be an independent. This is something that we rarely talk about, and this is something we need to talk about as a people. You have independent party. To me, that's more free thinking than being a Republican or a Democrat, because you're not going with the status quo. They always against each other. This is the problem with the country. Instead of us really working together like we need to, we always trying to take sides. And then us as a black people, check this out, y'all. What we should be doing, in my opinion, if anything, is putting together our own party, our own constituents that we want to run with independently, or regardless of who it is, whether it's a Democrat, Republican, or independent third party. We should be coming together as a people and working together for what we need done as black people. I'm sorry, but just because you run to a Republican or you run a Democrat, because I don't even care about neither one no more. I'm starting to look more into the independent parties. If I do vote again, I'm seeing about what's over here in the independent party. If I don't see nothing to roll with outside of state, local, here in Florida, I care less about voting for president. I might sound crazy right now, but the problem is we not together on our issues like we need to be. I'm working towards being them people that I respect, that I know is like, yo, I don't give a damn who in office. I'm going to get mine and take care of my family. I'm going to be working towards more being that. Until we start working together, this is what we need to start doing. That's the biggest problem I have with Candace Owens and people like her. It's more so bigger than her. It's more so about black people like her that's selling us out. It's a game. Like when I seen Roland Martin talking, it's a game. Look at what they say. They keep saying the same thing that white people say. Like, y'all really do your due diligence on listening and being objective. Listen to what they have to say and question it. That's basically what being objective means. Question it. Question me. I'm cool with it. We can talk. I ain't a Republican. No offense, but Republicans seem to always try to beat around the bush, and if you kick their ass with facts, instead of them kicking your ass with facts, then they try to talk against you and talk over you. I'm not that type of person. If somebody want to have questions, I talk to people, on here and other YouTube channels when I leave comments, and I talk to different people. We have dialogue. As long as we can have respectful, intelligent dialogue, I'm cool. If you say something stupid, then I'm going to act back stupid with you. And I don't mean stupid like, go crazy and belligerent. I'm talking about stupid like Biz Marquee, clown your ass stupid. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we need to start thinking about as black people. Instead of us worrying about Democrats, Republicans, or whoever, let's get our shit together and vote and run with the people that's really gonna go for us. Because you got to remember, all the bullshit that they're saying Trump is doing is and they just ride with him so hard and not really listening to what's really going on. Like when he said he gonna stop jobs from going across seas, that's a lie. I looked up and seen something online, and they was talking about how he's almost like 3-4 times sending more jobs cross seas than when Obama was in office. Then talking about that HBCUs, the historic black colleges, giving them help and funding. All he did was sign the first act step that says they're going to bring certain things to the White House for the White House to discuss and oversee when it comes to historic black colleges. That ain't necessarily a good thing, because Bush Jr. sent it back to the education department to see about it. But the education department is still in control of funding and I forget what the other decisions they said about something else, but partially funding. And they're concerned about infrastructure and things that need to be done. All he did was sign a paper. They saying Obama didn't do nothing, but Obama helped get $1 billion to HBCUs since he was there. Actually, $4 billion. Okay, so they giving Trump all this credit when Obama already had did some of the things. So we got to wait to see what's going to happen, because he said we're going to see about it, what's going to happen. So he lied about the jobs because jobs are still going across seas. And he talked about taxing, I believe it was Harley Davidson's whole franchise or corporation, because they said something public about what choice or decision they was going to make about sending jobs away or something. So I think he got mad and was something he going to tax them, but it really had to do because they said something and he didn't want them to say anything, because you could stop funding government funding, but you can't really stop them from doing any business or doing what they really want. And if they get funding, you can stop the funding. That's about it. Then he just lies about so many things. I can't even go through it. It's such a doggone headache. But my whole thing is this, y'all. Us as black people, my black people that's listening. People in general, but first of all, my black people. I got to start there before I can go trying to help or do anything or tell somebody else what they knew about their community. When we need to start at home. We need to work together and get our shit together. Stop going at each other. Try to figure out something. And whoever is in the White House or whoever is running to be in the White House, we need to put something together where they meet our demands and our terms. If not, they not going to get our vote. We need to stop tricking our vote. I don't give a damn if it's Democrats, Republicans, or third party independent. Unless we're going to really start trying to come together and do what we need to do, it's going to always look like this. And I'm just tired of people like her and all these other fake people that's out here. I'm going to do another video, you know what I'm saying? I just thought I'd get it early. I was up early this morning, so I thought I'd do a video right now. So y'all leave y'all comments, man. Like, share, you know what I'm saying, on whatever other platform, you know what I'm saying, or to other people. Let them check out the video, you know what I'm saying. Comment, tell me how you feel. And, you know what I'm saying, on people like Candace Owens, besides just her, but other black people that do the same things that she do and make it seem like she cares so much about black America when she's married to a white person. And definitely subscribe. If this your first time, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. It's your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. I'm going to get at y'all.